What screams that person that everyone hates? Quote. You're cute for a. Calls all mandatory meetings at 4:30 on Fridays. People who talk shit about others behind their backs and act all friendly towards them when they are around. You ever make a friend and slowly all the other people you know drop off out of your life? You've just made friends with that person everyone hates. Drama free. Frock the haters. I'm so real everyone else just can't handle it. People are just so fake. Usually embroiled in drama non-stop and their personality is about as deep as an inflatable toddler pool. Some people just seem to have a problem with everyone. He's a piece of shit. She's a breach. He's annoying. 9 times out of 10 they are completely ignorant to the fact that the only common denominator is them. If a person makes a big deal out of doing something that they should be doing anyway, e.g., I take care of my kids, I always tell the truth, I'm always on time for work, I shower regularly, etc., that person is best avoided. They're usually anything but what they claim to be. I have a coworker that will cut your story off mid-sentence to one-up you with their own story that's barely even related to the topic at hand. They are so self-involved and long-winded that people will see him in the break room and decide to take the elevator to one of the other break rooms on another floor. LMAO. Edit. To clarify, most of his stories are about how awesome New Jersey, New York is and how stupid Washington staters are. After a while of being made fun of by him, I just want to scream. If you love Jersey so much, then move back to Jersey. People who just keep talking about themselves. They talk and talk and talk. They'll ask you a question and while you're mid-answer they will cut you off and start talking about themselves. So there's a guy in my class that everyone hates, which I feel bad about now. The thing with him is that when you meet him, within the first or second question he'll say something negative about you. It could be he's trying to be sarcastic, but to play it safe keep to positive things on the first few sentences back and forth. The person who turns everything into a heated argument, like my brother, who has no idea how to formulate an argument and just ends up insulting the other person. It's annoying as hell and I'm surprised he has friends. Yelling at a checkout clerk at Walmart. I mean, like, seriously, what could they have done to you to make you that upset? Maybe you need some anger management training. Edit. This happened at the self-checkout lane, so I don't know what the Walmart checkout clerk could have even done. I was in the next lane and my back was to this woman, so I didn't see what happened. But this woman kept yelling at the clerk. I want to talk to your manager right now. Eventually they both walked up to the service desk together to get a manager. I felt sorry for the clerk. And the manager. They tell literally everyone how strong they are and that if they wanted to, they could beat your ass. It annoys the piss out of me and I can't stand when people do it. Edit. Thank you for the upvotes. A person who constantly has to make everything about them. They will always redirect with an answer about them, wasting time in meetings so they can tell you about their BS that no one cares about or announcing how awesome they are. Yuck. Someone who constantly needs to say, "Frock the haters." In my experience, that's the person whom everyone despises. People who blast their obnoxious music out loud on public transport. If their entire personality is based off of one factor. People who base their entire personality around being edgy and brutally honest, when really, they're just as holes. They just generally identify as a victim. Every encounter in their life victimizes them in some way, and they fall out with new people all the time. If they talk about how nice they are, huge red flag that they're in fact the opposite. The one-upper who often invalidates others instead of supporting them. When you tell them that something bad happened, they gotta complain how they have it worse than you, like they're in a pain contest. Or instead of being happy for you when something good happened, they gotta brag about how they have it better than you. Edit. Revised. Olympics. 2. Contest. Because it's not what I thought it was. Thank you for the replies. To the people who've shared your stories, I'm sorry you had to experience that or deal with it. Also to the people who are trying to do better, good luck. There was a guy the first went to school with up until the end of high school, and everyone, even teachers, hated him. He would constantly annoy everyone. He'd sit with people for absolutely no reason. He'd interrupt the class regularly. He tried to act tough, but when someone stepped up to him, he'd run away. He was nearly universally disliked everywhere he went. I had the misfortune of running into him a few months ago and he's still the same sit disturber he always was. He hasn't grown up. And he tried dragging me into petty drama that I frankly don't have the time nor patience for anymore. I told him not to speak to me again, and blocked him on everything I could think of. People who scream at their loudspeakerphone while talking on the phone. Why? Mic-enabled earphones are so frocking cheap. Nobody wants to hear your damn phone conversations. The person at work who acts entitled and superior to most their coworkers but leaves early or takes off for entire shifts more often than anyone can hardly count. Then complains about being behind on their work when they are actually at work. Me looking through comments to see if I'm annoying. Only God can judge me. Has a meltdown the moment they get told they're wrong or a differing view. People have a problem with me because I tell it like it is. The overly nice, sickly sweet public personality with venom underneath. Especially uncomfortable when the person is terrible at keeping that nice act up. My mother was one of those. I didn't realize how many people actively disliked her until I cut contact and opened up a bit. Less than plays music through phone speaker and not headphones on bus greater than what? Edit. Thank you for the anonymous gifts. Thank you for the awards. First time resonating. Extremely sloppy parking in a crowded lot, making the empty space next to them unusable. Any IG photo caption. What's your excuse? Like, I'm so glad you've devoted your life to whatever you chose for yourself. But being unable to even conceive that others have different priorities makes you clueless and insufferable. That person who thinks they know everything. Okay, and who asked? The people who drive through residential neighborhoods late on weeknights with their ridiculous sound systems blaring music so loud that it shakes the windows of your house. When you're telling them about something that happened, like you getting hurt, and they interrupt and go, "Oh, you think that's bad?" Well, I proceeds to complain about them getting hurt worse than you as if it's cool and better. People who are rude to servers, retail workers. If they use quotes such as, "If you can't accept me at my worst, you don't deserve me at my best," completely seriously, when they try desperately to be grown up all the time, and end up just being a boring person who complains about everything. The people that leave their cart in the middle of the parking lot. Those people are the worst. Entitled people who think everyone owes them something. That person who always assumes that if you have the friend the opposite gender you fancy them or you're dating. Do you know who my dad is? Finally, a post about me. Lots of bumper stickers meant to offend. It goes across the political spectrum too. The person who starts rushing up the aisle once the plane lands rather than waiting for their row to exit. Kid get hurt or sick? Fighting with a partner? Your second cousin's cat died? Better post it all on Facebook in real time. People who tell other people to smile more. The person who never lets anyone finish talking. Edit. Damn, I literally wrote this comment right before I left for work and am on break now and seeing this. Thank you all so much for the upvotes and awards for something I literally just thought of off the top of my head lol. Who else is scrolling through this making sure they don't do any of these things? This is usually towards a group of these people, but those group of kids at school who are always obnoxiously loud and interruptive towards the whole class and don't seem to give a rat's ass about their education and others too. Do it this way. Do it this way. I know you're doing it this way, but I want to make sure you remember to do it this way. A person you're just meeting or only recently met dumping all their personal drama and stories on you. May I speak with your manager? I'm a friend of the owner. Once a classmate told me, I have a lot of pride. Even if I'm wrong I will never apologize. She seemed to find it totally normal. Big red flag. She was also very insolent toward teachers and thought it made her cool. Second big red flag. Also, she told me once her parents taught her how to steal. Third big red flag. And others. Almost everyone in my class hated her. She is so annoying and I don't see her changing a bit in future years. Should I specify that she is legally an adult? The new hire who, for some reason, talks to you like they're your boss and are full of ideas of doing things better. If they use the word diva to describe themselves in any capacity, just no. Grown person smoking within inches of their kid. When I smoked I wouldn't even smoke with my dog in the car, but my grandpa wouldn't let me crack the window. Oh, and the person in my neighborhood that has a sticker on their truck that reads, "My other toy has tits." This type of person. Nobody likes you. We all tolerate you. I've been trying to reach you about your car's extended warranty. They don't take their shopping cart back to a corral. Lazy. Self-centered cunts. Talks down to everyone like they're a toddler. People who are mean to kids and animals or even just fail to do basic easy kindnesses like using their blinker and returning their shopping cart. Being rude to waiters. I don't like drama while starting drama. Lifted truck. With balls on the hitch. And a Punisher sticker on the back window. People suddenly starting to speak politely around the said person. The overly sexually toxic person who makes vulgar sexual remarks about every woman he sees. Like, Dude. STFU. I'm a dude and even I find that behavior offensive and dude I am a war. I will sleep with anything and even I have more class than you. Learn social etiquette you goddamned caveman. As a mother. People that think it's okay to use the speaker on their phone for a personal call while they're in public. I saw a guy do this at a urinal in a public restroom once and I have no idea why he thought that was a good idea. The people who paint themselves in a bad light. Like, I am so ugly. Hoping for compliments and validation. If you can't handle me at my worst, you don't deserve me at my best. I've never met anyone that has sincerely said this and not been a total dumpster fire of a person. Being told not to socialize with a coworker the second you get hired. Sure enough, she was sticking a raccoon penis bone in everyone's drink at the work Christmas party. That guy that blows past you and cuts you off in their modded out truck. The customer is always right. One of my friends is an oppressor tryhard in GTA. Students who interrupt the teacher to ask inane, long-winded questions that they could just ask after class. Anyone who lists their education as the School of Hard Knocks isn't someone you need to know. Playing loud music on subway or bus. No headphones. What the frock? The hentai shirt from Spencer's. That person who walks through school with music blaring from their Bluetooth speakers. Like, okay, we get it. You enjoy that music and you think it makes you look cool, but it frocking doesn't. Especially if it's so loud that we can hear it from over 100 meters away. It happened to me a few days ago. I was walking through school and a person who happened to walk by me turned up their music from quiet to ear-piercing in a fraction of a second. The entire canteen line, which was about 30-ish meters away, turned to face him with faces of pure shame and disgust. Them. And the teachers. The person who starts talking shit about their friend. As soon as they are out of the conversation, or sharing someone's secret in front of people who have no business of knowing it as a failed attempt to portray themselves as cool. That Bo Burnham looking guy in your college class. No disrespect to Bo, I love him, but he looks like the guy in this scenario, who calmly raises his hand and counterpoints what the entire class has been discussing. The good ol' devil's as advocate for no reason. Actually slavery was. Insert sit-ass take about how it wasn't all that terrible here. In 3rd grade there was kid who would cover his ears then scream bloody murder. The guy who nobody wants to talk to since he'll turn any subject into a political debate. I move in silence. Everyone's a snake. I don't like people. Anything an edgy anime boy would say, essentially. When people leave when you sit down. My in-laws do this to me. My husband doesn't think it is an issue. I am not sure what I did or when. But I obviously did something. The first 10 years I tried. The next 10 years I was angry. Now I am ambivalent. It is out of my control. People who try and force their religion onto other people. A girl in my class doesn't know how to be quiet. She fills any silence with a story about her life. It usually results in us smiling quietly and then slowly walking away to go somewhere else. Follow someone around to talk to them, not recognizing that no one actually wants to talk to them.